Hey everybody, this is Brendan with Business for Chummies. In this video, we're going to be looking at how you can print your Excel worksheet that currently spans across multiple pages onto a single page. So here I have a data set. I currently, in my page layout, have the print grid lines turned on, so you can see these dotted lines here represent where the printed page ends, and you can see how the content is currently spilling over into multiple pages. So here's my vertical line, and then here's my horizontal line showing the bottom of the page. If I go to the View menu and go to the page layout, here's kind of a replication of what it would look like if you were to print. You can see that my worksheet is currently being spread across 4 pages down at the bottom here. The rows are spilling over into pages below, and the columns are spilling over into pages to the right. And then you've got, which will result in this one weird, really weird page, which is essentially just 2 columns. So back to my normal view. There's a couple ways that you can deal with this problem. The simplest way is just in the print menu itself. So when you go to File, Print, really what you want to do is in the scaling section, you can simply choose the Fit Sheet on One Page option, and that'll automatically ensure that during this one-time printing, everything that's in your worksheet will then be kind of squeezed onto a single page. So that's the easiest solution. If you're looking at just making sure that none of the columns, those weird columns, move over onto separate pages, you can choose the Fit All Columns on One Page. And what this will do is it'll use up all of the space. You'll get a little bit better sizing of your columns and your text on the page. It'll make sure that the columns fit within the margins, but if the rows expand, the rows then will expand to different pages. This is not such a bad option. And then you have the Fit All Rows on One Page, which will essentially ensure that all of the rows fit onto one page, but if you have a lot of columns, those would spread across different pages. This is typically not the best option. So there's some quick options directly in the print menu. However, as you're working on a file, maybe you're wanting to ensure that the content is staying on one page as you add content, and you can do that directly in the page layout. So currently, the page layout, normally what happens before you resize is the page layout is set to 100%, meaning whatever your text, your font sizes and values and margins and everything are in your cells, that's how it's going to be translated into the print. But if you go to the Scale to Fit menu from the Page Layout tab, there's a few options here. So currently is the scaling is you can adjust the scaling on your worksheet prior to printing to a specific size. So you can say adjust it to 50%. And what that will do is it will allow you to have your text still be in full size. So as you're working, your font is still an 11 font. But when you go to the print menu, what will happen is the Excel will automatically scale you down to that custom scaling that you had. So this is good if you know what scale you need to be at. But as you add columns and add rows, that scaling is is not going to no longer be accurate. So the option that I like to use in the page layout menu, again, in the scale to fit, is I like to just choose the fit to one page. And so what this is going to do is if I always want my worksheet to fit to one page, you can see right now, based on the number of columns I have, the number of rows I have, and my font sizes, Excel knows that it needs to scale the content down to 69% when it prints. But as I add rows to my table, you'll see what's happening is that dynamically Excel in the top here is adjusting the scaling to make sure that no matter how much I'm adding to my table, that content is going to continue to be scaled to fit on the page. So I don't need to change my font sizes here. I don't need to adjust my margins on the page. I don't need to worry whether or not I'm going over to the next page as I add columns or rows. Excel is automatically going to fit the page fit the contents to the page when I go to that menu. So when I go back to the print menu, you can see it's automatically adjusting for that new content. All right, hope you learned something, had some fun. Don't forget to subscribe to Business for Chummies for other great videos, and we'll see you next time.